Well, I finally found time to watch the first season in total of Reacher, which is based on the popular books. There was a movie starring Tom Cruise. Well, a lot of Cruise's movies I enjoy him, but I didn't see his Reacher one. I just remember seeing the trailer in the theater, and I didn't even know what this was, even before I realized it was a Jack Reacher film. It just it's like the cameraman had to be on the ground to film Tom Cruise to make him look like a giant. It was in the whole build up about, this guy who's being interrogated by the police, and he knows what I did. There's no escape, and he's coming for me. And then it's little Tom Cruise. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was an okay film for what it was, but that's not who I would imagine casting for it. And a lot of times, these translations of adaptations of novels and whatnot, the casting is always like, not him, whatever. And sometimes it kind of takes it over and that sort of thing. But in the case here, I think they casted very well with Alan, is it Rickson? Or I think that's how you pronounce it. And actually remember him. He played Hawk of Hawk and Dove in the Titans show. But he does a much better job. I mean, he was all right in the role and everything, but the Titans became a very stupid show very quickly. And it was unfortunate because a lot of that cast, I think, could have worked very well, especially the guy playing Nightwing and all that, had they had a crew there that could plot it and do well. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So his character got killed off, and then later on, not long after that, got the word that he was cast in the Reacher series for Prime. And thought, I need to check that out. And after wasting my time chasing Star Wars, Doctor Who, some of what's left of Star Trek, stuff like that, always making notes of, at some point, it's got to let that stuff go and look at something else. Of course, reviewing old shows and whatnot and films, that's fine. But it really enjoyed One Piece. Kind of, sort of was enjoying Monarch, but I don't know about that one. There's some red flags here and there. But kept saying, I need to make time. And I always keep leaning towards the sci-fi superhero stuff. And needing to broaden the scope. I did the first season of Narcos Mexico, and then Ozark, 2 shows I need to get back to. And Reacher was another one. And Doomcock's Pop Culture Breakdown show, which I was doing, but I just I haven't seen any of it yet. And they were like, you haven't? And I was like, yeah, I know. And so not long after that, delved into it. And normally I don't care to binge shows. But this one, this is so damn good. And pretty much all in one sitting. I think I did most of it and then finished the next day of the remaining episodes. And it's excellent. It's a great first season of the show. Well handled. And I'm only in a few episodes of the current season. And we'll see how that goes. It's very, well, I mean, he's the same character and everything, but it's a very different approach and whatnot to the other one, except for his brand of justice. And doing a review overall is hard. It seems to be harder to do for things that are really good. When they're bad, you can just rant and rave about it ad nauseum. So, but it's like, all I can tell you is it's good, and I don't really want to spoil anything, but all the performances were very well done and crafted. The story was really good, and just really nasty villains that you enjoy watching him just beat into the ground. And literally, he crushes this guy's head with his boot. And I know, gee, that's horrific. How could you laugh? But hey, look, it's on TV, so it doesn't matter. But and again, don't worry, the guy had it coming, you know. And so, just all around, excellent show, and greatly appreciated. Certainly in the current era. And it's also an interesting thing, the concerns about Prime for what they did to Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings, of all things, to just that trash of, you know, Power of the Rings they did. And it's like, oh, man, I guess this is where shows go to die. It just depends on who's in charge of them and who pays attention to the shows. And I think this one escaped the gaze of Sauron here and was left alone. And it's this fun, action-oriented show. And there's a deeply dark and serious moments in it as well. So, but it is a fascinating character. And the performances, again, were all good, and these are, I think, well thought out characters. Yeah, there's a few moments here and there that I kind of thought, I don't know if it would go that way, specifically with the villain at the end. But then again, the guy was all a mess anyway, so you can write that off. But other than that, but I just loved the show, and it's instantly one of my latest favorites. I was saying, like, One Piece was the best of 2023, and I'm not sure when this season of Reacher came out. Well, I mean, the newest one came out in late of the year, but the previous one, I don't know if I would count it as a 2023, so I guess not. But for me, anyway, easily, yeah, another great show that I watched towards year's end, literally. And was like blown away by it. So can't recommend it enough. And delving into the current season, we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully it's as good or even better. I'm doubting that it's going to be better, because the first one was really good. But more of the same type of fun and whatnot, I suspect. So and then I'll do a review on the second season as well. But anyway, you had heard a lot of hype about it, and this is another example of where it turns out the hype was real. So a good show in the case of Reacher. And oh yeah, and also there's rumors that the actor might be in the running to be James Gunn's Batman, provided the DCU survives and they get to that movie. And good choice, especially with the story of him being a father to Damien and all that. The guy's the right age, I think, and certainly has the physique and the presence of it. I don't know about the voice, but well, you know, you'd have to see. And we've already seen him dress up as Hawk, so it's not just painted black and you've got a Batman suit. So that's interesting too, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. That probably would do well. At least as far as casting goes. So anyway, there we go. Reacher.